welcome to the Craftea Chat podcast. This is a predominantly knitting podcast, sometimes crochet, but very rarely. I need to get back into my crochet. I do enjoy it. Yes, video podcast in which I drink tea, which I have one of, even though it is warm in the UK today, and talk to you about the various things that I've been working on, various stash acquisitions I've obtained, although there is none of that this week, unfortunately. And also, I just kind of chat at you, because I can't chat with you right now, because this is a bit of a one-sided conversation. I hope you're all right with that. As I've already mentioned, my name is Hannah. I'm coming at you today from a very sunny, very warm Nottingham in the United Kingdom. Summer is here, and I'm still wearing a cardigan because that's the kind of gal I am. Although a layer may have to be removed depending on how excited I get as I podcast. Also, I completely forgot to put my engagement ring on, so that's going to be a bit weird. Admin, if you'd like to follow me on social media, feel free, you're more than welcome to. All of the links can be found in the description box below, along with all of the other information that I think you might find relevant. And also I have a Ravelry group. Within that Ravelry group you can find show notes if I remember to do them. And also knit along news. I'm currently hosting a knit along. I am so smooth with the segues today. I'm very proud of myself. I'm currently hosting a knit along or crochet along. You can do either. We're not discriminatory here in the corner of craft. It is a sweater knit along. So you knit a jumper or cardigan. Well, my definition of jumper is very lax. I just basically want everyone to participate. But knit a jumper of your choice and participate. It ends on the 17th of August, so you still have time. I was hoping to get 2 jumpers knit, but I'm dragging my heels with my whip for the cow. And if you would like to join in and post about your whips on social media, the hashtag for that knit along is 50k sweater cal, because it is the knit along I'm hosting to celebrate reaching 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is a ridiculously large number. So thanks a lot. Okay, let's start with finished objects, and I have 2. So they're both blocked and everything. I've been on a bit of a baby jumper craze. Oh, they were blocked and then I folded it, so that's entirely on me. I've been on such a baby jumper craze. I am not pregnant. I'm not. But I am now of the age where a lot of people around me are having babies. And congratulations to all of you who are having babies. It's that time of year. So I thought I'd use up some single skeins in my stash and knit some baby jumpers. So I have this one. I just used the Flax Light pattern by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, which is pretty astounding that it's a free pattern. Let's just put that out there. And it's perfect for beginners. It's in sizes 0 to 6 months, which is the size I've knit here, all the way up to 4XL, I think, adult size. So you can make you and all your family matching jumpers. It's very descriptive. It has links to tutorials. It explains everything in perfect detail. So if you've never knit a jumper before, I highly recommend this pattern. The yarn that I used is the Rusty Ferret yarn in the Sprinkles colorway. And last time I just cast this on, and I'm just going to pop this on Do Not Disturb because I'm getting distracted by all of my online friends. Thanks, Anna, but I'll talk to you in a second. Yes, last time I was talking, I said it was for like a birthday, like an anniversary celebration. Turns out it was for the little grey girl who makes fantastic project bags. Gemma, you are a genius. It was for the little grey girl's first anniversary, I think, of selling. So yeah, it's beautiful colours. I just cast this on that Wednesday when I last podcast, and I finished the body by the end of the day and knit the sleeves the next day. Like, it's a ridiculously quick knit. So I finished this one, and then I found another single skein of sock yarn that was just calling out to be another baby jumper, so I knit a second. This is, do I have the thing? I do. This is On the Round. So stock yarn. I bought this in a de-stash that Nora George was doing. I don't know if you're focused. I got contacts in today and I haven't worn them in a long time. It is in the Mavis colourway on her signature sock, which is 75-25 superwash, oh no, 80-20 superwash merino and nylon. And it is significantly woollier than this one. It looks like it's smaller, but I don't think it is. I think it is exactly the same size, but it's much woollier. Also beautiful colours. I knit this one almost in as quick of a time. I think I knit this in like 3 days. It's ridiculous. This one started to pool a little bit in places. So if you can see like the grey pooling. So to combat that, I snipped the yarn and joined it on a bit further on, so I didn't just get a grey blob in one place. So I have a few grey blobs in a few places, and at the bottom I got a larger one because I got fed up with changing it around, but that's fine. It's how I avoid pooling. I don't mind pooling as a general rule, but if I can avoid it, I will. And then this one, I didn't have to do anything. I could just keep knitting, and the speckles knit up beautifully. This is in the colourway Mavis. I don't know if I've already said. And it looks a little Halloweeny, quite autumnal, because it's kind of like a pale greeny colour with like flecks of purple and orange and like a dark purple, almost black, and like the odd pink one, but not really. A bit of turquoise. So yeah, this is real cute. And these are my 2 finished objects for the week. 2 baby jumpers that I'm now going to put somewhere ready to gift when the time arises. And as I'm, you know, talking about baby jumpers, I may as well talk about this next one that I cast on. I cast this on yesterday. Oh no, day before yesterday. I'm knitting another flax light, but I've decided to not put the garter stitch panel down the sleeves, which I might regret because that makes it very easy to count. I've had this skein of Yarn Cafe Creations in my stash since ages, since like at the beginning of my podcasting days. The fantastic Amy of the Periscoping Sisters, who was is friends with Becky, who was my neighbour, soprano knits and hostess of the String It Together podcast. She sent us, bless her, Amy did, sent us some stash, because I had no stash when I first started to podcast. Obviously, I have fixed that since, but she sent this, and this is Railcar. Now, this is a very old colourway by Yarn Cafe Creations, who is one half of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, which is actually one of my current favourite podcasts. It's a mother and daughter duo, Tristan and Christy. They're just delightful and fun. Yes. So it's super old label. I'm so old school. I'm so behind the times. But this is how I found out about their podcast. And it's in the Railcar colourway. This is on the 75-25 superwash merino and nylon base. I don't know if it's a base that she still carries. It's very soft. But this one I have actually cast on the 6 to 12 month size because I'm knitting it for my cousin's baby, who was born in December. So hopefully it will still fit him. If not, well, I can gift it to someone else who has offspring. So as you can, I don't know, let's hold up the yarn and stop being all over the place. I've moved into whips. I don't know if I've announced that. This cake is beautiful. So it's got patches of a fantastic orange, and then brown and green and turquoise, and then the undyed yarn as well. And it is pooling as I knit it, but you know what, I don't hate it. Oop, oop, oop. I don't know how to make this focus. So I'm excited to knit this and watch it grow. I did German twisted cast on, but other than that, I think I just followed the pattern. Except for I'm not doing any pearls, I'm just going to knit, which is going to be annoying for counting later, but I'll get annoyed at myself later when I'm counting. And that is living in my Emerald Fibres bag, because I'm only going to talk about these bags because I'm obsessed with them right now. It's the only bag I'm using at the moment. I bought it at Woolen and love it. I do have another whip that I made huge progress on yesterday, which is living in my other Emerald Fibres bag. Emerald Fibres on Etsy. But I can't actually show you it because it's a test knit and I've been asked to keep it a secret, but I will show you the yarn that I'm using. I am using Rock Gnome. I'm really worried I'm going to run out for this test knit. I think it's going to be close. My scales battery has died, so I can't even weigh it to make myself feel better to find out, which is really annoying. But I'm using Rock Gnome on my sturdy sock base, which is 75/25 superwash blue face Leicester and nylon. And let me show you the back so you can see how it knits up. Let's not show, try not to show any of it except for the underside, which is just plain stocking stitch and a heel. There's nothing secret about that. Oh, it's so pretty. Ooh. So yeah, that's all I'm going to show you about that, because that's a secret test knit that I can't actually show you. I get annoyed when people are just like, oh, I don't actually get annoyed, but I'm just like, I like being in the know. I like to know what people are doing. And I've just done exactly what, you know, frustrates me sometimes. Living in my Fringe Field Supply bag. And my Shitty and Tray Bake badge fell off. Oh good, I did find it. That's better. I'm still knitting my socks that I started knitting at Woolen, and I'm so sick of knitting them. This is the first one. This is Lollipop Guild Fibres. Lollipop Guild yarns. Lollipop Guild, full stop. Yarns. Lollipop Guild yarns. And this gold colour is in Goldie Horn, and then this stripy colour is in Twilight. And I cast on and knit most of the leg when I went to the pub a couple of weeks ago, I think now. And turned the heel about 2 days ago, and now I'm ready to knit the foot, and I might take this with me this afternoon because I'm meeting up with some friends for tea and cake, and I've done all the decreases I need to do, so now it's just knitting round and round and round. And because I've already got one, I don't need to keep trying it on, whereas that other sock that I'm currently knitting, I'm at the stage where I need to keep trying it on to make sure that it's at the right point to start decreasing for the toe. But these, I am knitting them. I'm using 2.25mm needles for these higher shots, and I cast on 64 stitches. Used a German twisted cast on. I think I did 15 rows of 2x2 rib. That's my usual go-to. I just tend to do it till I get fed up with doing 2x2 rib. And then I did a new depths heel, which is a wonderfully cheap but fantastic heel pattern by Becky Sorensen, Soprano Knits, and hostess of the String It Together podcast. And instead of increasing the amount of stitches that I usually do, I've cut it down by 2, so I only increased by 6 this time. And seeing if it will fit better, because my knitting gauge seems to have loosened up slightly. My last few heels of my socks have been a bit big, so I'm trying to rectify that by knitting fewer stitches, and hopefully it works. But I love the speckles in the neutrally coloured bit, and it's just naturally striping up as I knit it, which is grand and delightful. Yeah, just square toe. I think I had a hoe last time I podcast, but I hadn't cast on the second one yet. So now I've cast on the second one, and I'm still not very far through it. Well, you see, it's the lure of the baby knits that has drawn me in and won't let go. It's the baby knit lure. Is that even a thing? They're just so small and cute. You know, you don't need to be told, you understand. Also, they're very quick and very satisfying to knit. Plus, they're just a bit different. I don't need to explain anything to you. I forgot to tell you what tea I'm drinking today. It's just Twinings Everyday Brew. That's not what it's called. It's Twinings. It's Tea Pig's Everyday Brew. It's Twinings English Breakfast. Maybe. just with a dash of milk and a sweetener. It's how I like my tea. If ever you're going to make me a tea, that's how I like it. Although I will also drink it without the sweetener, depending where I am, because I don't particularly like having sugar in tea. I find sugar in tea is too sweet, but like a sweetener is just the right level of sweetness. So yeah, I'm still knitting those socks. I'm still getting fed up with them, but that's fine. This is going to be quite a short podcast, I feel. So now we move on to my knit for the 50k sweater cowl. And last time I spoke to you, I was where the chicken is. The chicken is one of my stitch markers that I sell. They pop up every so often in a shop. I can't guarantee them at every shop update because 2 hands. But they are sewn together using tiny seed beads. Not even seed beads, they're delicate beads technically, but you know what I mean. Tiny glass beads, and they make very light stitch markers. But anyway, that's where I was last time. That's how much I've knit in 2 weeks. Ugh, not good. Like the lure of the baby knit, plus I need to actually knit this test knit. Once I get one done, I think I'm fine, because that's me, just the 2 socks are the same. But I'm knitting the hoodie shawl cardigan by Sosu Knits, or Susanna Zoma. And I'm on the body. It's now the slog. It's like the not fun part, because you're just knitting and purling backwards and forwards. Maybe I'll take this with me to when I go out for tea. That's a perfect excuse. So I'm knitting this all out of my own hand-dyed yarn, which is very exciting. So the purple colour is Vicious Mockery, and this colour is a variation of Blue Slad. This is like the original, and I can't recreate it because I can't remember what colours I used. I dyed this to match the Vicious Mockery. If you're wondering where the colourway names come from, my yarn company is called Chromatic Yarns, and I dye yarns in colourways inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. I'm such a nerd and I love it. Yes. So Vicious Mockery is the purple, Blue Slad is this one. I have loads of purple because that's gonna be my sleeves. I'm not quite sure what that was. But yeah. I'm alternating skeins because I'm a clever beaver. I don't know why I'm a beaver. Yeah, I've just got to knit this until I'm 30 centimetres away from my armpit. I'm not there yet. And then there's a purple panel, and I was only going to knit this in 2 colours, but if you watch my Instagram stories you will already know this, but spoiler alert, I'm telling you again. I found this skein in my stash of yarn that I've dyed. I want to say it's called Water Breathing, but Clever Hannah didn't put a label on it. But I'm 80% sure it's Water Breathing, and I know that this is on 75/25 BFL nylon, whereas this is 100% merino on my merino 4-ply base. But I'm thinking I might use this as my I-cord bind off on the sleeves and around the thing, because it just goes so well. Like, it's like they were made for each other. You know what I mean? How nice would this be? Oh, I just hit myself on the face. Oh, my contact lens. It's not the kind of contact we need with the contact lens. Ah, terrible. Yes, this is going in my hoodie shawl cardigan as well. And that is living in my Fun and Vine Yarns bag, which Kristen so delightfully made for me as a Christmas gift. So it has a small snowflake on. And some turquoise dye, because I am the worst person. But I love this bag. It's just so big. You can fit so much in it. And I just hit the tripod, so I'm sorry about that. So yeah, I'm painfully behind, because I wanted to knit 2 sweaters for my 50k sweater cowl, but that's not going to happen. But I watched for the first time, I was chatting to Tristan, who is one half of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe. And I was talking about how I wanted some new podcasts to watch because I like to mix it up. But you see, there are so many podcasts out there, so thank you very much if you're watching this one. It's difficult to find new ones unless you're getting a recommendation from someone. So I asked Tristan for some recommendations and she gave me some recommendations. And yesterday I watched the Strings and More podcast and really enjoyed it. But they're having a cardigan along, and this is a cardigan. And their cardigan along ends on August the 1st, July 31st. One of those 2 days, I should probably check. So now I have extra excuse to get a wiggle on, so I can enter it into their cardigan along and then maybe cast on another jumper just in time for the end, but definitely won't finish it. Yeah, I'm not going to put the hood on. It's just going to be a shawl cardigan minus the hoodie, because I don't think I would wear a knitted hoodie, but I would wear a knitted cardigan. And you slip the last stitch of each row, so picking up stitches for the non-button button band. There are no buttons on it, which is why I'm calling it the non-button button band. But I guess you could just call it the band edging, the non-button button band. I imagine that's going to be quite easy because I do have these slip stitches, so I guess you just pick up one of each of those stitches, whereas, you know, ones where you just knit backwards and forwards and they're just like, pick up evenly X amount of stitches around blah blah blah. That would be more difficult to do if you had to try and miscalculate or uncalculate a hood. Uncalculate. Subtract. There you go. Anti-adding. So pretty. I really want to wear it. But I need to just get a wiggle on. I just need to sit and knit it. But I'm so distracted by my stupid phone that's broken. So I bought a new phone. Oh, we're getting into a small rant before we move along. One thing, my skirt matches my hair, so that's delightful. Oh, I got my hair dyed. And cut. I ordered a new phone because my phone's being a pile of rubbish. And it arrived and I was all excited and I almost opened it and broke the seals on the box and but then luckily I took a step back and realised that they sent me the wrong phone. It's such a first world problem, but I now need to return it. Luckily I'm going to the post office today anyway. Yes. Right, I don't actually have any stash enhancements to show you, but I don't think so. Pretty sure I don't. But I've been sat beading a lot this week because I have a shop update and I'll talk to you about my shop update momentarily. But I've been looking at my stash because I'm really good at getting distracted in life, but especially at the moment. And realised that I actually have suitable skeins of yarn to be a so faded sweater, jumper, whatever. Now I really want to cast it on. But I asked this on Instagram and this was the overwhelming response. Whoop. So I got these 3 to fade. And I asked I posted 2 potentials. I posted this one as a first option. Oops, got my hair on because everything does. I molt so much. This is my first option. So the top one is Vintage Christmas on 7525 Superwash Merino by Stranded. This one is Fru Valborg. I can't speak Swedish, so it's 8020 Superwash Merino Nylon in the Life on Mars colourway. And then this bottom one is Dragon Tears by Woolenbine on her footsie base, which is 8020 Superwash Blueface Leicester Nylon. That was the option number 1. This was option number 2. And this is 7525 Blueface Leicester Nylon, Lady Persephone Sock, Countess Ablaze, Ship Tea and Tray Bake. And this was the overwhelming response winner. This had 100 votes more than the other one did, so that's pretty good going. But I just think they go so well together, you know? It's like an accidental fade I found in my stash, which is so exciting. So I think I'll be casting on the So Faded sweater at some point. And I'm so late to the trend because like everyone's already done it. Like everyone's already done the whole fade thing, and then I'm over here just like, oh, I finally have it. Oh wait, no one's doing it anymore. But hey, I'm often behind trends. That's not true, I'm never on trend. If anything, I set trends. I had brightly coloured hair before it was cool. I got my nose pierced before it was cool. I wore band t-shirts and skinny jeans before they were cool. I do everything before it's cool. but now I'm doing this after it's cool, just to mix it up. And I also found a fade in my scraps that is 100% going to be a baby jumper, because current obsession of my life. So this is the remainder of the Sprinkles Rusty Ferret. This middle one is Down Sheepy Lane in the Do the Magic colour, which I made a sock head hat out of. And this is Hedgehog Fibres. It's their signature, is it called Signature Sock? It's 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. This is 75-25 superwash merino nylon. This is 75-25 BFL nylon. This is 90-10, which sounds very unnatural to say. Superwash merino nylon. And I was going to knit socks out of this, but I've heard a lot of people complain about knitting socks out of Hedgehog. This is in the Goosebumps colourway. I bought this as part of a D-stash from Nora George. The same D-stash, actually, that I bought this yarn from. Clearly I was on a theme. But these fade real nicely together. So I need to knit a baby fade. A bade doesn't work. Ooh, I was going to make a snowman. Come on. Do you want to build a snowman? Yarn snowman. I've done this before in a thumbnail, but they were balanced much better. So yes, that might have to happen as well. I'm just going to knit all the fades, but I need to get this test knit done. I need to get my hoodie shawl cardigan done. I need to get those other socks done desperately. And I just need to get a wiggle on with all my projects, really. Okay, I think that's all I have in terms of knitting content. Sorry about it. So, I'm having a stitch marker update today. Not today, tomorrow. I'm having a stitch marker update tomorrow, if all goes well. Tomorrow being Friday the 29th of June. And I think I'm going to have it at 6 PM. Keep an eye on my Instagram stories for more details on that. And it's not going to be an Etsy update. I am moving away from Etsy. I have made the executive decision to move away from Etsy. I did all of the maths and have decided that Etsy is not the place for me anymore. So I have a new shop. It is the corner of craft.co.uk. So feel free to head on over there for your shop update, or for my shop update, I suppose. I have a few stitch markers. I wanted to do a larger update, but I only have 2 hands, and was out of the house yesterday, and I'm doing this today and photographing them, and I have some orders that I desperately need to package and send. So, unfortunately, this is all I have. So I've got 3 of each of these charms that I'm going to be showing you. So my stitch markers all come on these findings here. Boop. I find them much easier to use than the lobster clasps. I also like them because you can use them as like standard stitch markers. So like I have this stitch marker here, the circular one. You can use them on most needles as well, because the wires are so thin, they slide up and down, no problem. Boop. So yeah, that's why I like these clasps, personally. But I have a little pirate ship going in. I've got 3 of these going in. It's got a Jolly Roger on the flag, which is pretty darn awesome. So let's just put them away, because I've already talked about them. Also, to go in the pirate theme, I have a tiny skull and crossbones, which is pretty cool and so dinky and cute. Got 3 of them going in. Then I have an anchor, also pirate themed, and this is a nice tiny anchor, also small and cute. I'm gonna stop saying small and cute for everything. And then last of the pirate themes, although I suppose technically it's not strictly pirate themed. I have some brightly coloured birds, which I am calling parrots. And they're also tiny and cute. Like that fluorescent green. Oh, cracking. Cracking. And then I got one more new one that I've not had in the shop before. And these were well received on Instagram when I showed it off on there. It's a tiny otter. It's utterly adorable. I hate myself. And it's holding either a tiny shell or a tiny rock or something tiny. And there's a butterfly trying to get in my window. Okay, it's gone. And it's so cute. So I have only 3 of those. I almost kept one for myself and then thought, no, Hannah, don't get high off your own stash. Just, you know, put it in the shop. You can always make yourself another one if you desperately are thinking about it. So that might have to happen because I do keep thinking about it. Then I have some more tiny ladybirds because these seem to go down a storm. I like to have a variety in my shop. I was thinking about this earlier today when I was beading. The reason I only have 3 of each in the shop when they go in isn't to create scarcity of it is purely because I like to have a range of things in my shop. I could sit and make 30 plus charms of one kind, but then where's the fun in that? So I go for more variety over quantity. I have some more summery sloths happening. Doop. Flower crown sloths or sloths, depending how you say it. I have some black cats going in because some people, it's Halloween in their heart year round, and also black cats are for life, not just for Halloween. My nails are awful. And then I have some koalas going in because I haven't had these in the shop for a real long time. Koala heads. So, if you'd like to get your hand on however many hands you have on those, head on over to thecornercraft.co.uk and the shop update will be at about 6 PM. Hopefully, if not, I will let you know on the Instagram stories. And hopefully everything works with the shop update, but I'm really nervous that it won't. I needed to move away from Etsy. I did maths. Etsy are raising their fees. I feel like I've said this somewhere. Etsy are raising their fees. And I think I said that on that really awful Instagram live I did. And I did maths and realised that I can't sell my stitch markers on Etsy anymore unless I were to charge more. And I feel like I'm already charging enough for my stitch markers. So I'm moving away. Not literally, as in I'm moving away from Etsy. I'm not actually physically moving myself anywhere. I mean, in life, sure, probably I will walk somewhere. I'm just too much of this. So yeah, that's all my knitting and shopping content for today. It's quite a short one today. I'm really sorry about that. I'm not quite sure why. I don't have a whole host of new projects that I've cast on, that's why. There's not a whole lot to talk to you about. So let's get into life, shall we? Life has been relatively uneventful. I had a trial day at a potential new job yesterday, so I find out about that on Monday, which is a really long time to wait, but that's fine. I'll just have to keep myself busy so my brain doesn't freak out too much, which it went into major freak out mode yesterday. So yes, find out about that on Monday. And what else has been happening? Not an awful lot. Went to the pub, that was nice. Got a bit tiddly on Saturday, that was nice. Went to a farmer's market on Sunday with Mario. Was very disappointed. It wasn't that good. So that was not a good time. I think that's pretty much it. I've just been, you know, meeting up with friends and living life, and when I'm not at my day job I'm at my desk, and when I'm not at my desk I'm at my day job. So yeah, so these podcasts tend to happen like this. I'll have 1 week where I get loads of knitting done, although arguably I've got quite a lot of knitting done. And those are the weeks that I have a yarn update in my shop, because when pots are on the hob and doing their thing, I can sit and knit. But when I'm doing a stitch marker update, my life is taken over with beading. So all I can do is sit and bead quite a lot. And then obviously, because I'm beading, I then can't knit because, you know, I've only got one set of hands. But I think what I might have to start doing is, while pots are on the hob and I'm dyeing yarn, like simultaneously dye yarn and make stitch markers at the same time. So take some beading stuff downstairs with me, because I don't want to have to, we have very steep stairs, I've already fallen down them too many times. I don't have to like peg it down the stairs and run it, fall over. But when pots are on the hob, make stitch markers, and when, you know, just have it constant. So I can do bigger updates, because I want to do fortnightly updates. So fortnightly stitch marker updates, and then in between that do yarn updates. So it'll be like yarn, stitch marker. So I'm still having weekly updates, but I'm not like, you know, but try and get into a routine where I basically have 2 weeks worth of stitch markers and 2 weeks worth of yarn happening at the same time, so I can do bigger updates. Because, you know, I don't want to toot my own horn, and I don't want to become this person. My stitch markers sell relatively quickly. Not like in 2 seconds they are gone, but like in the space of 3 or 4 days, my shop is pretty depleted. So I would like to make more. And also then, you know, I always feel guilty, not guilty. If people keep coming back and buying more, thank you very much, but then you still have to pay shipping every time, so. If I put more in, then you can buy more at once, so you think you can pay just like 1 lot of postage and receive 1 lot of stuff. Does that make sense? Am I just overthinking everything? Probably yes, that is my life. Also, I want to start like a yarn collection. Is that what it's called? Where you have like a themed collection, not a club per se, but like a dye theme, still under the D&D umbrella. And it's going to be called Critical Role. For those who don't know, Critical Role is an online D&D campaign where some incredible voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons, and it's really amusing and enjoyable to watch, and they're all incredible. So I would like to do Critical Role. They've got 2 seasons, so I would like to do the first season first, and then but yeah, that's just some ideas that I have ruminating. So that's exciting. So I need to get into a bit of a routine with simultaneously dyeing yarn and making stitch markers, because I think that will be quite beneficial for me. And just go, go, go. Because I'm just self-sabotaging at this point, because I'm afraid of success. Hi, my name's Hannah, and I'm getting really real with random people on the internet. Sorry. Oh, I do love my new hair colour. I've only washed it twice and it is already fading, so I'm less impressed, but whatever. Then I had quite a lot, well, not even that much snipped off, but I had enough snipped off where my ends now look semi-decent. Right, I need to go. I have orders to package. I have a post office to go to. I have stitch markers to photograph for my new shop, because I want them all to be consistent. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, please feel free to hit the subscribe button below the video. That way my video pops up in your subscription feed when I post. And also, once you hit subscribe, there's a little bell icon that comes up next to it, and if you click that bell, you'll get a notification through on your phone or your web browser or whatever that's like, oh, the Corner of Crafts uploaded a video, and then you can know, because YouTube's, not to get too technical, YouTube's algorithm right now is not favourable. So sometimes it's even difficult to find the videos of the people that you actually want to watch. Thanks, YouTube. But yes, Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. They can all be found in the description box below. Feel free to enter the 50k sweater cal. The chatter thread and FO thread can be found in my Ravelry group, also linked in the description box below. And don't forget that my shop update tomorrow is going to be at thecornerofcraft.co.uk, also found in the description box below. If in doubt, visit the description box below. I feel like that is all I'm ever going to say. Wish me luck not casting this on. I should probably check needle sizes and hope to God that I'm using him. Because I really want to cast this on. But I also really want to finish this. So, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!